Alright, here's some basics for getting some parties booked. If you haven't watched the Melanie Barkley video, go ahead and watch it. I know there are a lot of things in there that you may not use, like the 125 for 25 for free or whatever. If you can't do that, that's completely fine. Like I said, I've never done that, and I've booked plenty of parties. So those are just some ideas. Mostly the verbiage is what's important on hers. And I'm going to talk about some of that too. But this way it'll give you, some things from both of us that maybe you can piece together things for yourself. And I'm just going to let you know that before I used or practiced verbiage for parties, I did not have success booking parties. Unless somebody just really felt sorry for me. But the verbiage, I can't imagine trying to book a party without it now. Just, it's ingrained into my brain and I wouldn't try any other way. So, with that being said, first I'm going to go over some objections that you might hear, even if you have told people why you're calling. First one would be no time. I know a lot of people are busy right now, but throughout the entire year, there's always a season of everyone's busy right now because spring sports and school's about to get out. The summer, everyone's going to be on vacation, so everyone's going to be busy. In the fall, school's going to be starting back and fall sports are going to start. In the winter, Christmas and the holidays are going to be coming up. January, same thing. Christmas, holidays, all of that. People are going to be visiting family. Then there may be blizzards like there were this year, but anyways, that's always something that people are going to come up with, whether you can relate to them or not. We're always going to be busy. There's never going to be a perfect time for anything. It's just like everything else, and you and I both know that there's a really good chance that there's at least one night a week that people could give up. You're not asking them to do this every single week. You're not asking to do this multiple times. You just want one night, 2 hours, and that's all you're asking. So don't feel like you're asking for a lot in the first place. Anyways, so no time. Be sure, I always just reassure people, it really doesn't take that long to have the parties. I'll come probably 30 minutes before we start the party. It'll last for about 2 hours, and then I'll be out of your hair. I'll be gone. And I'll take care of everything. You just sit back and you relax with your friends. And they're a lot of fun. And people, once it gets down to it, they'll enjoy hanging out with their friends. Aside from that, I don't remember what I was going to say, so I'll go on and come back to it, because otherwise I may be sitting here for a while. If they say that no one will come, that may or may not be true, but we're sure going to try to get them to come. So with that, go ahead and encourage them. Most people do have friends. You know they have friends. Some of you watching this video would probably be able to say, I don't know anyone, I don't know who will come, whatever. We do have the 40 guests in 4 minutes page that we can give to people to go through. If people are being really honest with themselves, they have people that they can invite over. They can invite their neighbor. I don't know that many people in Tahlequah, and I could probably come up with at least 10 people to get to my house for something. So, people know people, and people can come up with people, especially if their family members live close. Their family members can come. So don't let them stop with that either. Just encourage them. You probably know more people than you really think you know. What about so-and-so? What about friends from church? What about people you work with, etc., etc. You can mention people to them, give them ideas of who they could invite. And if they say they don't do parties, similar to this, I understand. I wasn't really a party person either. I'm just really needing some help, and I promise I won't ask you to do this all the time. It'll be totally worth your time, though. I know you'll love these products, and then we'll help you get some at a really good discount. The skincare is amazing. The nutrition is awesome if you're interested in weight loss or getting healthy. you know, something like that. Just be encouraging, basically, is what it comes back to. Because a lot of people, their immediate reaction is probably going to be like, I don't know. So, just be ready for it, because not everybody's going to say yes. A lot of people will say no. And a lot of people will say no initially, but then before you get off the phone with them, you'll be able to kind of, you know, turn them back around, see, oh, okay, well, maybe there are a couple of people that I can invite. And when it comes down to it, if you're asking people for help, people do want to help you most of the time. Some people don't. That's okay. It's usually the people you're closest to that don't want to help you, so just keep that in mind. But anyways, like I said in the message, be to the point. And I've been guilty of that too. It's hard to get on the phone and you're like, hi, how are you? And then you start talking to them and it's somebody you've known for so long and you're like, you know, just going through stuff. Which is fine, but try to save that for the end of the conversation so it doesn't seem like you just called and buttered them up and, like, talked to them and then we're like, oh, and by the way, I called because whatever, you know. So talk to them first and then you can save your small talk for later. Have the dates and time ready. Trust me on this. This is huge. And once I got this, I could tell a huge difference for me. So what I do is I take my calendar, I go through and I circle the dates that are open for me. For example, I'll leave off Wednesdays because for most people they're going to church that night. And if they're not going to church, their friends are probably going to church. So I don't want to try to, you know, compete with that. I usually leave Wednesdays off completely. Fridays, I've done Fridays. And if you feel good about Fridays, do Fridays. But to me, I just kind of think, well, Fridays, it's the weekend. People are ready to start their weekend. They may say they're coming and then get home and put on their sweats and not want to come. And that may not happen. That may just be some thinking I need to get rid of. But I really like going for Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. It's just a personal preference. I feel like when people are in their routine... I feel like when people are in their routine, they are more likely to, you know, squeeze it into their night, like, oh, it's Thursday night, just finished work, I'm going to this party tonight, and then tomorrow's the weekend, you know, so it's kind of like just putting it into their routine, basically. Of course, Saturday and Sunday afternoons are whether or not it works with your schedule, and I've done parties on both, and then evenings too, you know, so... Whatever works for you, go through your own schedule, figure out what days and times you want to do parties, and circle them, put a time on there. If you want to put 6:30 and 7, and then once they pick a time, you can just circle one, and put their name down, excuse me. So you kind of want to guide them. It's not being pushy, it's they don't know how this works, and if they get off the phone with you and say, okay, well, I'll look at my calendar, well, let me see if my friends want to come, or let me see who I can get to come, or whatever, then they're going to be really slow to call you back. It's not their business. It's not a priority to them. By their business, I mean it's not their Arbonne business, not like it's none of your business. They're not the ones who this is really important to, so they're not going to be really prompt about calling you back. So just go ahead and guide them through picking a date. Because then they're a lot more likely to get out their calendar real quick and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I can do that day. Trust me, you do not want to get off the phone with, well, let me talk to my friends, well, let me look at my calendar, well, and don't tell them that you can call them back at a later time. Sometimes you can do that. Seriously, play it by ear. 9 times out of 10, probably 9.9 times out of 10, just go for the date, start... You know, the next 3 dates that you have open, just share those with them and see if they'll pick one of those. So, some of the things you can say when you're calling is I'm finishing a promotion, I'm close to a goal. If you're close to your district manager bonus, hey, I'm really close to a goal this month and I'm I've worked really hard to hit it, and I need another event on the calendar to help me out, and I was wondering if you'd be willing to get some friends together to help me. Ask for help. It's not that hard. I ask for help all the time. And, you know, finishing a promotion. Hey, I've worked really hard, we're in qualification to promote to region, and I'm also about to have a baby, and I'm trying to do as much as I can at the beginning of the month. Would you help me out and get some people together? And by the way, everyone who's not hosting a party for me this month, I've at least said, hey, well, do you want to reorder anything? After I've explained what I needed. Can you really tell a pregnant girl who's about to give birth that you can't help her out? I'm just saying. But anyways, then if you're just starting, I mean, most of you can probably still say this. So, hey, I'm just starting my business with Arbonne. I'm really excited. I do need to be in front of 40 different people this month to share the products and the business with. And I was just wondering if you'd be willing to get some friends together so that I can come and share with you. I'll give you what's in it for you is a couple of free things, some gifts for hosting, and then the host rewards. I don't even go through the host rewards on the phone that often, and I still get bookings. So if you need to, just talk about host rewards. Some of you have gotten some really good deals through host rewards, so you know how good they are. So just tell them about that. And hey, I'm in a booking challenge right now. Whoever wins gets a prize, and I'm trying really hard to win. Would you be willing to get some friends together and help me out so we can book it, or book a date so that I can come and share with you guys and you can help me out and maybe I'll win. So you can tell people like that. And here's another secret. If there's not a booking challenge, you can still call people and say, there's a booking challenge. They don't know, and they really probably don't care. But in this case, there actually is, so you're not white lying. And I'm not saying to lie. Don't take that the wrong way. It's just some verbiage if you ever need something to say. But anyway, so your attitude and your belief play a big role in this too. If you're sitting there, you're about to pick up the phone, you're like, I know this person's going to say no. They're definitely going to say no. They're probably going to say no. They can hear that in your voice. They can hear your belief. Belief has a sound. If you haven't heard that yet, you will hear that many times over. So, if you have to, and I've done it before, sit before you call people and say, okay, she's going to say yes. She's going to say yes. She's going to say yes. Until you believe it. And until you're like, okay, whew, here we go. I'm pumped up and I'm ready to ask now. I'm not kidding. If you have to do that, then do it. Get your attitude and your belief in check before you call people. And they'll be able to hear your enthusiasm and your excitement. They'll be able to hear your fear. So try to just pump yourself up a little bit. Give yourself little pep talks before you call. And then another thing that really is going to help you, tell them your why. Why are you doing this? I read an article today from a blogger that I really can't stand, to be perfectly honest, but she tears everything down. But anyways, it was about how she has been invited to all these parties on Facebook and how obnoxious it is and how tired of it she is and blah, blah. And that's fine. I get it. Some of them annoy me too. But at the end of the day, then she's lumping all of the companies together and lumping all of the people together, whereas I'm completely sold out. This is my plan A. This is what I'm doing. I put my full attention and focus into this business. I'm not doing this just for fun. I'm not doing it as a hobby. I'm not doing it for a little bit of extra money. This is my income. This is how I pay my bills. So I'm serious about it. There are a lot of people that will sign up for stuff and they have those parties and they're not serious about it. So what's your why? Think about your why. If your why is that you want to be a stay-at-home mom, you need to tell people that when you're calling. Hey, I'm starting this business. It's going to help me be a stay-at-home mom. It's going to do this for me. It's going to do this for me. You know, this is what I'm really, really trying to get out of it. Let them know that you're serious. And I think there's a little video for like your 30-second why, or maybe 60-second. So I'll try to find that and post that too, because that'll be really helpful. I mean, when people know your why and they know the reason you're doing this, then they're a lot more inclined to help you as well. And if you have an actual reason, if you're just saying like, hey, get this new little hobby going, they're like, okay, I don't have time for your hobby. But if you're like, this is how I'm paying my bills, then they're probably like, oh, well, yeah, let me see if I can get some people together. So anyways, those are some things to think about. Go back through, well, I guess you should have just made little bullet points as we went through, but it's basically what I wrote yesterday, plus some objections, and sorry it's so long. Hopefully, it'll be helpful, though, and I'll go and find the video about my, about doing a 1-minute why, and talk about why you're doing it, seriously, and I know there's more reasons than that. Don't just say, I probably lost so many people that could have been consultants early on because one of my whys was, I just want to help people, which may be the case, but sometimes you need to be more specific. Like, I feel really led to help the orphans in Haiti at this orphanage that I donate money to, and I want to be able to give them more money. Or I want to be a stay-at-home mom, or I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck, so I'm trying to make a little bit more money. You know, whatever. Whatever your why is, share it. Don't beat around the bush about it. Don't be shy about it. Don't say, I'm just doing it for the discount. Will you have a party for me? Because they're going to be like, no. They don't care to help your Arbonne obsession or to fund your Arbonne obsession. So anyways, hopefully this is helpful. And I'll post the video about the why too. And sorry this is so long. But anyways, I hope everybody's ready for tonight. Bye!